Day 18 of 420, and today we're fixing a bug that's silently corrupting your output files. Picture this: your script opens a file, writes half the data, then crashes, and now you've got a truncated, broken file that looks valid until something downstream chokes on it. The fix isn't a clever try except. It's 3 standard library modules you already have installed, working together. By the end of this video you'll write files that are physically impossible to half-write. Let's build it. Here's the core idea, and it's the most important trick in this whole video: never write directly to your destination. Write to a temporary location first, then rename it into place. Why? Because on every major file system, a rename within the same directory is atomic. It either fully happens or it doesn't. There's no in-between state where the file is half there. So if your script crashes mid-write, your real output file is untouched. You lose the scratch copy, not the data. That single pattern write temp then rename is what separates fragile scripts from production tools. Let's start with pathlib, because raw string paths are a trap. Import path, and suddenly paths become objects with real methods. Path, logs, /app.log joins paths with a slash operator that works on Windows and Linux identically. You get .exists, .mdir, parents equals true, exist_ok equals true, to build nested directories without errors, .stat, .st_size4 file size, and .suffix to grab the extension. No more os.path.join soup. One object, every operation you need, and it reads like English. Now temp file, this is your safe scratch space. The naive approach is to hard-code a temp folder like /tmp/myjob and hope nothing collides. Don't. Use tempfile.temporary directory as a context manager. It creates a uniquely named directory, hands you the path, and this is the magic: automatically deletes the entire thing when the with block exits, even if an exception fires. So you write with tempfile.temporary directory, as tmp, and everything inside is guaranteed cleanup. No leftover junk, no manual os.remove and a finally block. The context manager handles it. Third piece, shootil, for the actual move. Inside our temp directory we build the finished file completely. Then shootil.move, temp_file, destination, relocates it. When source and destination are on the same file system, shootil performs that atomic rename we talked about. The full, complete file appears at the destination in one indivisible step. Anyone reading that path sees either the old file or the new file, never a half-written mess. Combine the 3, pathlib names the paths, tempfile gives the safe workspace, shootil commits the result. Let's compose them into a reusable wrapper. A function atomic_process, src, dest, that opens a temporary directory, builds a staging equals path, tmp/dest.name, writes all your process data into staging, and only after the write fully succeeds calls shootil.move, staging, dest. Wrap the body so that if anything throws disk full, bad input, keyboard interrupt, the with block tears down the temp directory and your destination is never touched. That's maybe 15 lines, and it's the same engine that powers log rotation, report generation, and config deployment in real systems. Write it once, reuse it everywhere. Where does this show up in production? Log rotation: you archive yesterday's logs by building the compressed file in temp, then moving it so a crash never leaves a corrupt archive. Report generation: render the full CSV or PDF to scratch space, then atomically swap it in, so dashboards never read a half-rendered report. Config deployment: write the new config to temp, validate it, then move it over the live one, meaning your service never reads a partially written config and crashes on startup. Same 3 modules, 3 different production problems solved. Day 18 done. The takeaway: write to temp, then rename. That one idiom, powered by pathlib, tempfile, and shootil, makes your file writes atomic and crash safe without a single third-party package. Stop installing dependencies for problems the standard library already solved. Subscribe for day 19, where we turn this into a full CLI tool with config parser, argparse, and logging working together.